Hi guys, in this video we're going to look into Linux distributions or Linux distros in short. This is going to be a continuation to our last two videos in this series. Now imagine you want to buy a car, the Mercedes, the Honda, the Toyota and the rest of them. Well, all of them are all cars. They serve same purpose. They have engines, they have wheels, they have steering wheels, they have every other similar parts of the car, and they can as well take you from one place to another. But they are made by different companies and designed a little bit different from each other. Well, Linux is similar to that. The Ubuntu, Debian, Fedora, Arma Linux, Rocky Linux, and the rest of them are all Linux distributions, or you can call them distros in short. But they are packed differently and designed for slightly different kind of users. And now the question is, which one of them should you choose? Now let me explain each and every one of them to you. So by the end of this video, you are going to know which particular one is best for your project. Now, of course, let's get started into the video. Now the first on our list is Ubuntu. HostCreed offers the Ubuntu 22.4. Okay, let me just slightly search for the Ubuntu right here. So you're just gonna head over to your HostCreed dashboard, and over here head over to the products and go over to the VPS dashboard and scroll all the way down. You're going to see the instance rebuild section over here. So this is exactly where I am right now, and then I've searched for Ubuntu, and here you can see HostCreed offers the Ubuntu 22.04 LTS, Ubuntu 24.04 LTS, as well as Ubuntu 26.04. We're going to come to this later. Okay, this one right here, we're going to come to it later. Those three are definitely the same Ubuntu, but different versions. So the 22.04 is older than the 24.04, as well as the 26.04. Ubuntu is just like the most popular kid in the Linux school, basically the most popular Linux distro that is out there. Okay, so if you make a quick YouTube research, of course, you're going to see 1,000 of videos that are going to be using Ubuntu. So if you're just getting started with Linux, I highly recommend using the Ubuntu, any version of it. Of course, if you get stuck, it's going to be easier for you to get materials and resources to find yourself again. And that's one of the reasons why Ubuntu is a great start for learning Linux. Now, if you're wondering what LTS means, LTS simply means long-term support. With the LTS tag, Ubuntu is just trying to let us know that we should calm down. They're basically going to be updating the systems for a long distance. So that is what long-term support means. The advantages of Ubuntu, obviously, it is beginner friendly. It has a very huge community in case if you need support fixing a lot of issues. And of course, with the LTS of a thing, the releases get long-term support. So let's move to the next one, which is obviously the Ubuntu 24.04 CUDA. Now this one looks like Ubuntu because obviously it is Ubuntu, but there is something extra installed into this one, the CUDA. CUDA is basically a technology made by NVIDIA that allows programs to use NVIDIA graphics cards for computing. Now, these ones are made for a huge project. Imagine you are building an AI machine learning server with a supported NVIDIA GPU. Now, with that, CUDA becomes very important. Well, for the advantage, CUDA is great with AI and machine learning workloads that are very huge. And obviously, Ubuntu is really easy to learn. And of course, it saves you from some GPU related setups. Now, for the disadvantages, it's obviously too bogus for a simple server, and it requires compatibility with the NVIDIA GPU. And because of that, GPU servers can cost relatively higher. And the third one is Debian. Now from my screen, you can see that HostCreed offers the Debian 11, 12, and 13. Now Debian is like the quiet, dependable student in class. He doesn't really care about being the first person to have all the shiny new toys. But in the other hand, he wants something that works properly and doesn't cause unnecessary trouble. You might already know Debian is simply built for stability. And something interesting is that Ubuntu is actually built on top of Debian. So if you learn Ubuntu, many things are going to be similar when you come over to learning Debian. For the advantages, it is very stable, it can be lightweight, and you can guess the next one, it has a huge ecosystem of developers. Now for the disadvantages, because it actually doesn't really care about the shiny things at first, the stable releases might have older package versions. It is slightly less beginner friendly than Ubuntu, and some tutorials about it assume Ubuntu related tools. Now with that out of the way, let's move to the next one, which is the Alma Linux. Now, as you can see from here, HostCreed offers Arma Linux 8, 9, and 10. Arma Linux is built to be compatible with the RHEL ecosystem. RHEL simply means the Red Hat Enterprise Linux. You're going to see the Arma Linux quite often in the web hosting world, especially around technologies such as the cPanel, WHM, and the rest of them. For the advantages, it is super great for hosting servers, and it is designed for a long-term stability, and as well it has strong compatibility with the RHEL ecosystem. Well, for the cons, it is less beginner friendly than Ubuntu. It has fewer beginner tutorials than Ubuntu, and the software versions can intentionally be conservative. Now the next one, let's move to the Rocky Linux. And you can see HostCreed offers the Rocky Linux 8, 9, and 10 as well. Rocky Linux and Arma Linux is almost the same thing. The both of them try to provide a very stable Linux system that is very compatible with the RHEL ecosystem. And of course, the Rocky Linux is very good with web hosting technologies such as the cPanel, WHM, and the rest of them all. The advantages, it is very stable. It is good for enterprise or server environment. And of course, it has strong RHEL compatibility. For the cons, obviously, it is less beginner friendly than the Ubuntu. And as well, it has a smaller beginner friendly tutorials. Now let's move over to the next one, which is the Fedora. And now you can see that HostCreed offers the Fedora 42 and the Fedora version 43. Now, unlike the Debian, Fedora is like the kid in the class who always wants to be the first person to have the shiny toys. Is there a new phone in the market? Yes, he has it. Is there a new version of iPhone? Of course, he's the first person to get it. And what about a new laptop? Yes, he's the first person to get it. If there's any new Linux technology, Fedora is always the first to give it a try. That's exciting, but well, there's a trade-off. Now, because it likes new things, the versions obviously don't have the time to stay longer than the other distros. Now, for the advantages, new software and technologies arrive quickly, and it's excellent for learning new Linux technologies, and as well it has strong connection to the RHEL ecosystem. And for the disadvantages, I'm sure you can already think of one. It has a short support life cycle, and due to that it requires more frequent upgrades. Well, it's usually not my first recommendation if you are a beginner in Linux. The next one on our list is going to be the CentOS Stream 9. Chances are you may have heard about CentOS from older Linux tutorials, because the CentOS Linux used to be very popular on servers, especially hosting servers. But the entire old CentOS Linux distributions were all discontinued. What we have right here is the CentOS 9 Stream, and it's not simply the CentOS 7 that is upgraded. No, the CentOS Stream lets you see the changes that are heading towards the future RHEL updates. For the advantages, it is obviously closely related to the RHEL ecosystem, and it's good for developers working around the RHEL ecosystem. For the cons, it's completely a different model from the CentOS 7 and the older CentOS Linux distros. It can refuse people following tutorials made with the older CentOS distros. That is it. And the last one on our list is the Arch Linux. So let me show you the Arch Linux over here. Here's the Arch Linux, and it obviously has just one version of it. Well, the Arch Linux simply gives you an empty space and say, build yourself. So basically, most of the things there, you're going to be installing them yourself, and you're going to be building the entire server yourself. Arch gives you a lot of control, but it definitely expects you to know what you're doing. For the advantages, the Arch gives you a massive amount of control. It offers a very current software, and is a very fantastic way to learn Linux deeply. For the disadvantages, it is completely difficult for complete beginners. It requires more hands-on maintenance, and rolling updates can require intervention occasionally. And the last one that HostCreed offers is going to be the OpenSUSE. Okay, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Let's search for it right here. The OpenSUSE, and there we have the OpenSUSE Leap 15.6. And one thing the OpenSUSE is famous for is having the tool called YAST. The YAST gives you a central place where you can configure many parts of your Linux system instead of manually changing everything yourself. For the advantage, the OpenSUSE has the YAST, which is a very powerful tool for administration. It has a stable approach, and lastly, it has good server administration and features. For the cons, it obviously has a smaller community than the Ubuntu, and because of that, it has fewer beginner tutorials. So it's very difficult for a beginner to get started with OpenSUSE. So that's basically all of the Linux distros that HostCreed offers. On our next video, we're going to get into the Ubuntu workspace, and of course, we're going to get started running some commands. So I'm going to show you the first 20 commands that you should learn as a beginner in Linux. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any question as well, leave it in the comment section. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification and stick to the next video. I'm going to see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.